guys, I am Shivani Saxena and welcome to my channel S for Shivani, a one-stop destination for all your MBA needs. I am preparing a set of videos which will help you guide in your placement preparation better.
And in this video, we are going to see some of the latest group discussion topics which have a high probability of being asked this year. These topics can present themselves in one form or another, either in a group discussion or in a PI. And I will also be sharing my insights on these topics, so you surely do not want to miss any part of this video. Also, before moving ahead with the video, I want to remind you that you should not hold yourself from doing good, especially when it costs nothing. So, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel right away. Starting with the group discussion topics, the first topic is Delhi's electric vehicle policy adequate enough to accelerate EV adoption? Now here, I want to bring to your notice that whoever will start the discussion, you need to set the base by stating the need for such policies. Then you will start talking about this particular policy. So this policy is being introduced with the intention in mind that the pace of adoption of EVs should be increased, especially in the mass category of two-wheelers, public or shared transport vehicles and good carriers. So it covers everyone who is involved in the fleet purchase of vehicles, your food delivery guys, your logistics people and all of these. So this is the main agenda behind this policy. Then you begin discussing the provisions. So I would like to highlight a few provisions of this policy. For electric cars, there is a purchase incentive of rupees 10,000 per kilowatt hours of battery capacity. So remember, the incentives are based on the battery capacity. So whenever you are stating such facts, always mention the unit. For two-wheelers, this incentive is rupees 5,000, obviously subject to a maximum limit. So for electric cars, the maximum incentive is rupees 1.5 lakhs. And for the two-wheelers, the incentive is rupees 30,000 per vehicle. Similarly, a purchase incentive of rupees 30,000 per vehicle will be provided to the registered owner of the electric auto, electric rickshaws and electric carts. And I would also like to bring to your notice that the government is thinking on de-linking the battery with the vehicle, which will also again bring down the cost of buying these vehicles, hence accelerating their adoption. Similarly, there are provisions for electric buses and goods carriers. And then you can go about discussing other provisions. Now, this policy is being appraised by a lot of people in the industry. Find out why, find out if there are any loopholes or anything else which remains to be tackled and give your opinion on that. Coming to the second topic, media trials and sensitization of cases. So this is something which we all are seeing these days, whether it was in the case of Sushant Singh Rajput or the current Hathras Kand. So do you think such media trials without the authorities coming to a conclusion are right? What is the impact of media trials on the people involved? What if they are proved innocent? How will the people who are involved in this trial compensate for that? So all of this you have to address in this particular topic. Third is eradicating poverty or mission to Mars. What will you choose? So this again can be a personal choice. Neither of the stand is right or wrong. So you can give supportive arguments to justify your stand. You can also bring into notice the current recession that is going on and highlight the fact that at the moment, maybe eradicating poverty should be the target compared to Mission to Mars, because that is an expenditure which can be postponed, whereas the rate of unemployment is constantly rising. People have lost jobs. The worst to suffer are the frontline workers, the poor, and that is how the COVID situation has resulted in an increase in the social status or the inequality gap which we call. All of these things you can argument in this topic. How will abrogation of Article 370 improve situation in Kashmir? So firstly, before tackling any of these topics, if you do not know the history behind it, let someone tell the history and then you jump on with your arguments. So the basic thing that you need to know is that Article 370 and 35A, that granted the state of Jammu and Kashmir a special status has now been revoked, and the state has been reorganized into Ladakh and Jammu and Kashmir as two separate union territories instead of full-fledged states. So the benefits of it can be multiple, like there's a scope that Kashmiri Pandits can now move back. People who couldn't buy land earlier there can now buy. A lot of development activities which were not taking place can now take place, and thus resulting in employment opportunities for the local residents. Then there was also an issue of right to education. So all of these rights are governed by doctrines of directive principles of state policy. But since Kashmir did not come under that doctrine, so there was no right to education for a system. And also there is a thought that it will also result in boost in tourism. On the other side, you can talk about how this separation is now creating feelings of differences, or favoring one particular segment and going against another. Completely your viewpoint, but do not go too political on these topics. You need to maintain a neutral stand and argue only on the basis of facts. Has COVID-19 widened the social inequality gap in the modern India? Obviously true. Talk about how the frontline workers have been affected. Talk about the entire issue of migration of these laborers from one state to another. Talk about the unemployment rate and how it is very rampant among the lower income level group. Also, I'd like to highlight that don't just move around these topics in terms of economy and psychological impact. You can also come up with how this gap or how this problem is giving way to a rise of a new kind of company. So I'll give you one example. There is one startup called Bounce. They have started this initiative that all those who have unused two-wheelers lying idle in their house, they can enlist or register these vehicles with this particular startup, and they will rent these vehicles either free of cost, or the owners can charge maximum of rupees 80 per day, and these two-wheelers can be given on rent to these frontline workers. So think of innovative ideas on how you can address a topic, be different from the others. Will denuclearization instill world peace? Again, this is a topic on which you can have a personal stand. No stand will be considered right or wrong. You can talk about how, if denuclearization is done, will it stop the wars? Right or wrong? What is it in your opinion? Is this initiative a means to an end or an end in itself? Talk about North Korea's activities. Talk about the Trump and Kim summit that happened and what were the outcomes that came out of that summit. Talk about these things. Idea or execution, what is more important? I leave this topic to you. Whatever stand you are taking, talk about the scientific process behind it. In addition, you can talk about the steps that are required to reach to the final idea. So firstly, you brainstorm, you do problem identification, then you come up with alternatives and you select the best alternative after doing a lot of pilots. For execution, you can talk about how important are the key performance indicators in measuring the success or failure of an initiative. Whatever you're doing, support the stand with whatever you are learning from your acads as a part of your college. Should Indian economy be privatized? Now, privatization, first of all, you should know what it means, when it started, the LPG policy of 1991. You should also know that privatization can be of multiple kinds based on the degree in which it is implemented. So it could be a delegation where the government can give a franchise or a contract to private players. It can be divestment where the share or the major stake is sold to private sector players, or it could be a complete disinvestment where the entire organization is sold to private parties. Then what should privatization be backed by? What will happen to the existing public enterprises? How can their efficiency be improved? What is it that they are lacking? Is there any sector in which privatization is easy? What are the consequences of privatization? For example, privatization in education is debated because it will make the cost of affording education high for a certain segment of population. Also, there is this argument that the private players focus more on profits, whereas the government entities operate on a notion of social service and benefit of the people. So, will these two different objectives clash? What will happen? Give your take on that. Corruption and crime, I think these topics are compared to other topics, these are easier and you can have your own viewpoint on this and no one will ever judge you. Talk about how the Nirbhaya incident was a game changer and how it highlighted the fact that okay, the crimes against women is not something which can be ignored. And then there were various steps taken in Delhi itself. Read about that. Talk about your opinion on what else can be done to make the world a safer place for women. You can talk about your particular locality, your state, your country, at a workplace level as well. So feel free to explore your creativity in this. The future of super applications in India. First of all, a super app is a platform developed by a company offering various services under one umbrella. And the pioneer of this concept was the Chinese giant WeChat that began as a messaging service but then became a one-stop solution for a lot of activities like gaming, payments, social commerce and publishing platform and things like that. Recently, Paytm has come up with an initiative to open its own mini app store. Find out why it happened, what is the intention behind it, which are the companies that are listing on these super apps, why are they growing so much. So talk about how the user base of smartphone users and internet users is on the rise in India. Talk about the convenience that these super apps offer, that you do not have to download multiple apps, rather you can be done with one single app in itself. Talk about how the integration will enable a smooth flow of transactions for Paytm because you do not have to resort to some external payment facilitator. Paytm payment can be used in itself. Read more about such things. Should marijuana be legalized in India? Recent debate, a lot. There has been a lot of debate recently on the use of drugs and what is illegal and what is legal. This topic needs to be dealt with on a neutral basis because if you do not know, marijuana legalization will replace the black market production and distribution. And there are states like Himachal Pradesh and Tamil Nadu where this cannabis plant grows from which this substance is made. So what if the legalization happens? It is going to benefit the farmers who are cultivating this plant. Right now they have to compromise on the selling price and sell it cheap to these illegal traders. But if it is legalized, they can sell them at the price that they deserve. Also talk about how marijuana has dozens of medical benefits. It can treat glaucoma. It prevents cancer from spreading to other parts of the body. It reduces anxiety, slows down the Alzheimer's disease, improves metabolism, and also there has been research which proves that it does not cause as much addiction as compared to other drugs. WhatsApp, Facebook, and other such social media platforms are accused of theft of intellectual property. Now, in your opinion, what have you learned from your experience? You can talk about that. How whatever you read now on the internet is looked at with suspicion because you are not aware of the source of these messages and the authenticity of these messages. Talk about how earlier people used to brainstorm and then do something, but now since everything is served to them on the platter, that initial few steps of brainstorming, thinking, ideating is now lost. Also, you can talk about how, also if you feel you are against this statement, you can talk about how the social media platforms have given rise to influencer marketing, meme marketing, moment marketing, which in itself are defying the statement that it hinders creativity because these campaigns are so creative and and it is also giving people means of employment. So influencers earn by creating such content. Should the practice of yoga be made compulsory in schools? I think yes. Nobody can deny the fact that yoga is very beneficial for the body, health and mind. Talk about how the recent tide of events have made it even more obvious that yoga should be made mandatory in schools. A corrupt but efficient politician is better than a truthful and inefficient one. So whenever you're applying for the role for a company, always side with ethics. There should be nota option in voting. Nota means none of the above. So if you feel that the current breed of ministers, current breed of candidates who are contesting for elections is not worthy of your vote, then such people can opt for nota. Talk about where are the places where this nota option has been in force. Stress on the fact that, okay, if none of the candidates are as per your requirement or as per your criteria, what should be the new criteria of giving the pass to these ministers to contest elections? Which brings me to this 21st topic, which is political parties should not give tickets to contestants with criminal records. So criminal record is an important factor which determines if you want to vote for a person or not. Create a link between what you feel it is at the moment and what can be done in future. How can businesses be made responsible to the shareholders? So this is a topic which revolves around corporate governance policies. Talk about the reason why there should be such policy in place. The reason is the shareholders are the owners of the business because they are investing money in that, but the business is managed by the management on behalf of shareholders. Now shareholders have invested money, so their ultimate agenda is getting a return on investment. But these managers, if the shareholders are not vigilant, can manipulate the business practices to fulfill their personal needs. So you might point out there have been a lot of scams like Enron, WorldCom, Satyam, Arthur Andersen and companies like this, and how an absence of the corporate governance policy resulted in their shutdown and collapse. Caste-based reservation. So now when there are topics like these which might be a little controversial because you do not know who is in the room, always argue on the basis of facts and not on your personal feelings. Talk about the pros and cons of having such system. If you are saying the reservation should not be there, then what do you suggest should be there so that the poor do not suffer? So whenever you are presenting such arguments, come up with a well-rounded one. Why scams like Nirav Modi happen with Indian banks? First of all, you should know what the scam was and why it happened. So let me here state that there was a PNB internal report which found out that there was enough suspicious activity at the Brady House branch of the bank in Mumbai, and it would have given officials enough hints that something is going wrong in the dealings between Modi and Mehul Choksi's companies. But the bank kept on ignoring these. Some say that the employees are also involved, and it resulted in a fraud of rupees 14,000 crores. Then you can also go back in time and talk about the 1992 Indian stock market scam, which was done by Harshad Mehta. A very big scam, and it resulted in significant changes in the way banks function. So the major change was the formation of National Stock Exchange of India. Then there was the CII Code of Desirable Corporate Governance developed by Rahul Bajaj. Post 1992, a regulatory body which we know as SEBI was formed to monitor the stock exchange and the National Securities Depository. Then you can also talk about the role of employees in fixing these scams. So should the employees be made accountable for their actions? How the high value transactions or highly frequent transactions can be scrutinized? Talk about all these things. 25th topic is all current affairs based. If you are able to read one article on this, you should be able to get material. Now 26th topic, Farm Bill 2020. Now when answering this question, you should know that there were 3 bills that were passed. First one was Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Bill, Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance Bill, and Farm Services Bill and Essential Commodities Bill. I know it is tough to learn these names, but even if you're able to get a gist of what these bills were, you should be good to go. Now, these bills propose to create a system in which farmers and traders can sell their purchase outside the typical mandi format. The bill also formulates that a framework should be created which will enable the farmers to engage with agribusiness companies, retailers, exporters, and sale of produce while giving farmers access to all the modern technologies. The bill will also provide benefits for the small and marginal farmers with less than 5 hectares of land, and the bill will also try to attract FDI for this sector. Now, why this bill is being argumented is that when the mandi format is removed, there is a question on the e-NAM format which was earlier created by the government. Read about what is electronic national agricultural market and why what was it created. The farmers are also apprehensive about the fact that will they get the minimum support price for the produce, and they're also concerned that the big agri-businesses and big retailers might have an upper hand in negotiating the rates. Also, the states will stand to lose the mandi fees because transactions will happen outside the mandi format. Labour Code Bill 2020, for or against. You should know that Lok Sabha cleared 3 labour codes: Industrial Relations Code Bill, Code on Social Security, and Occupational Safety and Health and Working Conditions Code Bill. The bill has proposed measures that will provide greater flexibility to employers to hire and fire workers without government's permission. Now there are a lot of provisions which are being debated. One of them which is in the limelight is that the new IR code proposes that no person employed in the industry shall go on a strike without giving a 60-day notice. Now, whenever any such notice and before such a long time has to be given, that means that making a legal strike is being made impossible now, thus snatching away an important right of the laborers. So that is why these provisions are being debated. Is India ready for DIY products? The biggest example you can talk about in this topic is IKEA. How it used to be before coming to India and what it is now. So Indians are not so used to DIY concept, and that is why IKEA had to set up people to assemble the furniture and then make the customers take it to their homes, unlike the original concept wherein the customers assemble it themselves. So also there are companies like Asian Paints which have their DIY paint kits, DIY waterproofing kits. Talk about what are the sectors which are already excelling at it. Now, next important topic to discuss is the future of short video apps in India. Talk about why that ban happened, how many apps were banned, why they were banned. If you have stats on how many TikTok users were from India, tell about it. How many people were affected, how many people's income was affected because of this ban. How this ban on TikTok has given rise to new Indian apps like Roposo, and recently YouTube has also come up with Shorts. Then there is Instagram Reels. Talk about how these short video apps are trying to lure the customers to use them more and more. Next topic is the consequences of PUBG ban for the youth. Again, a very important topic. More than the focus on China, talk about the psychological impact of this ban on the youth. You should know that roughly 25% of PUBG players of the world belong to India, making it around some 50 million active users, and the app was downloaded over 175 million times this summers. There have been news that there was one person from Jammu who was admitted to hospital after hearing this news because he lost his mental balance. There was another teenager in Punjab who spent 16 lakhs from his parents' bank account without them knowing to buy gears and upgrade his character in the game. Talk about how there is phenomena called gaming disorder which has been named by WHO, and it is characterized by impaired control over gaming, increasing priority given to gaming over other activities, to the extent that gaming takes precedence over other things in your life. Give it a little scientific taste. Reach versus frequency. So reach offers more and more awareness, whereas frequency enables recall. Again, a personal choice on what you think marketers should focus on. If there is reach, let's say if it is a new product in the market, then the reach is important. While if you want the particular message to be hammered into the brain of the person, into the brain of the audiences, then you focus on the frequency. You can also discuss various platforms and what they have to offer. Let's say the reach of social media platforms are more compared to traditional methods like a newspaper or a radio ad. The changing format of MBA entrance exams justify. You can talk a lot about how the current COVID situation has enabled the need for social distancing, and which is why the duration of the exam has been reduced, how there are different norms of sanitization, thermal scanning being implemented at the centers. And now if the format is being changed, what in your opinion should be the new format like? Talk about things like this. Sex education in India, again a very hot topic because of the Netflix show, which is quite popular in the country. So I'll tell you one example of a country called Netherlands, which follows a comprehensive sex education curriculum teaching children as young as 4-year-olds. And these conversations not just talk about the sexual acts, but also revolve around what is love, what is respect, and what is intimacy. And the result of this is that Netherlands has one of the lowest rates of teen pregnancies and STDs, and it is one of the most gender equal countries. You can also bring your opinion on this, how you feel you can normalize such conversations. Let me remind you that in India also there was a show called Sex Chat with Pappu and Papa, which became quite popular, and it addressed all these taboo topics. So whatever you can come up with the ideas on how you can normalize the conversation, talk about those. What steps can governments take to reduce air pollution? So you can talk about the Delhi example in particular. Talk about what are the sources of pollution. So there is a different way to tackle vehicular pollution than tackling a stubble burning pollution or pollution from factories. You can address all of these sources separately. Then you can talk about how the government can raise taxes to raise the price of the alternatives or the pollutants or whatever things are there which cause the pollution. There should be promotion of going green and municipal waste management, reducing emissions from the coal and biomass energy systems, how the agriculture waste incineration should be handled, forest fire should be handled, how within the household also the pollution can be curtailed by using good quality energy for cooking, heating and lighting. Should initiatives like White Hat Junior be encouraged? Again, a very hot topic these days. The White Hat Junior is a company which is saying that kids should start learning coding right from the age of 6-7 years. And parents have also now started enrolling their kids for these online classes. Now, this is my personal opinion that kids should not be encouraged because I feel that let them turn adults, let them figure out for themselves what they like. What if the person doesn't want to go for engineering? What if the person likes commerce or arts or any other science? Is it alright to put them under an additional burden of learning a language which they can obviously learn when they take up the graduation? Talk about on these terms. Next topic, referring to cred ads. So Cred has come up with a series of ads involving legends like Anil Kapoor, Madhuri Dixit and Bappi Lahiri, wherein these actors and singers are trying to audition for Cred ads but they're not able to get selected for the role or for the ad. And the tagline says, "No one gets it," which is in a way highlighting the fact that the cards are so members only and exclusive that not everyone will be able to get it. Now the ad is facing criticisms as well as some praises. The praise is that they have been able to bring the essence of their product into the ad, while others are arguing that when the ad is shown on television, that means it is meant for mass appeal. But since most of the people are not able to understand what is happening in the ad, is the choice of medium right? Is the creative copy of the ad right? So you can give your opinion on what should have been the case in case you disagree with the ads, and if you agree, talk about the things that you like about the ad. While there are certain ads which are very explicit in nature, like Amit ji loves Pika ji, or Tide demonstrating how it turns clothes into whiter, there is also another segment of ads involving mostly products which are premium in nature. So maybe the ads of Audi, BMW and such premium cars that you see, they are not so outright in telling what the message is, and the creative copy of the ad conveys them very subtly. So give your opinion on what you think is suitable for which kind of product. Web surfing restrictions at workplace. So you can be again for or against this topic. Nothing is considered wrong. You can talk about how it can maybe help the employees remain engaged in their role by taking little breaks, or you can talk about how it hampers the productivity and distracts the employees. And lastly, uses and abuses of feminism. Again, a very hot topic these days. So now I want to caution all the boys who are going to be there as a part of this GD or PI. Do not take extreme stands on this topic. Unless you are aware of what the concept of feminism stands for, do not take any extreme stands. Let me tell you, the goal of feminism is to challenge the systemic inequalities women face on a daily basis. And the origin of this movement was to give the women right to vote in the Western world. And it has nothing to do with male bashing or belittling men. It stands for values like equality, merit, competence, and respect. Now you can talk about how this movement is growing at a lot of places like social media, at workplace conversations or families, or conversation within the families as well. Talk about how you should be using gender neutral terms like chairperson instead of a chairman. But you can also highlight the fact that there have been some incidents where this movement has been misused. For example, I'm just telling one incident I can remember at the moment, which is the Jasleen Kaur harassment controversy. There was a charge levied by Jasleen against Sarvajit Singh in 2015 of sexual harassment, and then it couldn't be proved, and you know how Sarvajit had to suffer, lose a job, be shamed publicly on all social media platforms. We can also talk about the role of government in bringing this equality. So for example, the abolition of triple talaq is a step forward in the right direction. How it will impact the women of Muslim community, and highlight some incidents or stories which you have heard recently. This brings me to the end of the video. Thank you for watching the full video.
If you found this video useful, then show some love by liking the video and subscribing to my channel. If there is any other thing I can help you with, or if there is any other question which needs answering, you can mention those in the comment section below and I will help you in polishing your answers. All the best for an interview, and I'm sure you're going to do really well. So don't take any sort of tension. Just be honest, just be bindas, and just be yourself.